Last week, the Sounders women had a chance to connect with the Ostrom's Mushroom Farm. It was a day for touring, tasting, and having some fun with the Sounders presenting sponsor down in Lacey, Washington.
So Ostrom Mushroom Farms has been in business since 1928, 85, 86 years now, I guess. And it's family owned. It was up in Lake City, and in those days it was all canning. You just canned mushrooms in those days. There was no fresh market for mushrooms. And in 1967, they moved the farm down here. It was an old Green Giant facility. It was a mushroom farm, but the owners bought it, and it's been here ever since. In fact, they call that Mushroom Corner on the map. But we went from growing about 700,000 pounds of mushrooms, and now we're growing about 16 million pounds of mushrooms a year.
Ostrom ships mushrooms throughout the West Coast, Alaska, and Hawaii. It's locally based and is a proud supporter for 2 years now of the Sounders women.
We grow the mushrooms, and then when we dump that out of the trays, which you'll all see, that goes to a soil company, and they use it to amend the soil because it's got great nutrition in it still. So it's almost a closed circle in sustainability. So we're pretty proud of that fact.
The Sounders toured the facility and saw from step one to the final process. It all starts with mulching and putting the soil together that makes it optimal for a mycelium to grow, basically a netting that turns into mushrooms.
So then they'll put the topsoil on here after this is colonized. So what happens is all these little moldy filaments grow out from each seed, from each millet grain, and they connect. And that's basically the tree, okay? If you think of the mushroom mycelium as the tree, and the actual mushroom that you eat is the fruit.
As the process moves along, that mycelium turns into almost a moss that grows for a few weeks before it's ready to sprout up into a mushroom.
So these are beds where you see the casing soils on there. So mushrooms double in size every 24 hours. So we have to pick every day, because if we waited a day, an A-grade mushroom would become a B-grade mushroom. So it's fast crop. So from the time we break the bale till we start picking is about 3 months.
4 days later, the mushrooms are ready to pick. With no chemicals put on top, you can just pluck them out, and it's as fresh as you can get it.
What you want to do, you want to try one fresh, is take one that's bigger and twist it, and then pull it up. So you'll twist it loose.
The Sounders Women Tour included a little bit of everything. After the tasting, there was packaging, cutting, and even a stamp of the Sounders Women on the packaging.
Well, it was, first of all, great to have the gals come down and see the farm. Doing the tours at the farm are always really interesting because nobody walks away from the tour sort of unimpressed or uninspired. And so I think as the tour went along, and then we got to the harvesting rooms and they saw all the mushrooms, and then when they were able to just take one right off the bed and eat it and see what it was like, I noticed that almost everybody stepped up and had a mushroom. And so I'm hoping that what they took away from that was an appreciation of farming and what it takes to bring food to the table. And it was just really neat to have them there. You know, it's the young gals that are healthy and are living a healthy lifestyle, and that's kind of what we're trying to appeal to with the mushroom business.
To cap off the day, the Sounders presented an autographed Sounders women jersey with national team players and the full 2014 roster. It was a great event and a chance for the Sounders to connect with their presenting sponsor. Big thanks to Ostrom's Mushrooms Farm. For myself, John Billings, and everybody with the Sounders, we'll see you next time.